My dream tour lineup. Firstly, would be Evile, because I wouldn't be any kind of businessman to not mention that. Next would be Death, but the symbolic lineup of Death, just because everything about that lineup was perfect for me. Chuck obviously is a genius. Gene Hoglan on drums. It's Gene's ability on the drums is just baffling to me. To see him playing those Death songs would be amazing. Although I have seen Death to All, I just never got to see Death with Chuck. So definitely I would love to see Death on that tour. The other band would be Sepultura on the Arise lineup. So Max, Igor, Paolo, Andreas. They are probably my most favourite band at that time. Arise is probably my favourite album next to Beneath the Remains. And just to see that band on stage with that energy, everything about that lineup defines thrash metal for me. That is what thrash should sound like. Played by those four guys. They're the only four that are allowed to do it. I would have to say Cliff Burton era Metallica would be great. The Puppets tour lineup, headlining probably, obviously. Cliff Burton, I obviously never got to see him. I would love to have seen him. One of my favorite bassists. I've heard some of his isolated bass tracks, and they're just, he's not the tightest, most amazing bassist in the world, but his creativity on the bass and the songwriting was just another level. Cliff was mind-blowing. I would say Slayer on the Rain in Blood lineup. Lombardo, just everything about Lombardo. Dave Lombardo's drumming. Kerry and Jeff, and I love Slayer solos. I hate it when people knock the Slayer solos, because Slayer solos aren't about amazing solos with melody and high levels of skill. They're supposed to sound like hell. They're supposed to sound jarring and in your face and fuck you solos. They aren't like Steve Vai. Ooh, it just wouldn't work. It wouldn't work over Slayer songs. So I have a huge admiration for the Slayers solos and their riffs, and you couldn't do any other kind of solos over Slayer riffs. If someone stepped in and did melodic stuff or shreddy stuff, it isn't Slayer. I don't care what anyone says, Slayer solos are perfect for what they are. Plus, Kerry can play them note for note live. Not a lot of guitarists can do that, even the melodic kind of guitarists. They kind of skim over things. But if you see Slayer live and see Kerry, 100%. Every time. This won't fit, but Wishbone Ash, the Argus lineup. The Argus album is one of the best albums ever recorded in prog rock, or just rock in general. If you haven't heard it, check it out. Argus by Wishbone Ash. Just their twin guitar work, like, it's on par with Thin Lizzy. I know Wishbone Ash was a heavy influence on Steve Harris from Iron Maiden. Just it would not fit on this dream tour, but fuck it, it's my tour. I can do what I want. Those are my dream tour bands. I would love to have seen them. I would love to see them now. Actually, let's put Ludwig van Beethoven in there. He'd go down well.